So what I'm going to show you next is how to get these little pops of center color into your pieces, into your knitting, without having a float, because there's 7 stitches between the motifs, and that's quite a long float, and it may mean that you risk catching the strands in your toes as you're putting your sock on. What I've done here, as you can see on the reverse, is I've actually caught the float as I've knitted along, so it keeps it nice and tidy, and you don't have any risk of getting caught when you're putting your sock on. So how you do this, I've knitted up to the point where I'm about to knit in the strand. So again, having the strand underneath the main color, I knit that yarn, and then usually you catch your yarn every 3 or 4 stitches. So in my case, I've decided that 4 is the magic number. And here's another tip. What I've done is I've cut a length of yarn in this color that about 14 inches long, or maybe 16 if you want to be very safe. It's only 1 row around, and being a sock, it's not a very long piece of yarn. But what that'll do is that it'll just keep things a bit tidier for you, and not so messy when you're knitting. So here I've laid the yarn across my main color, and I'm not knitting it in, I'm just using this main color to catch this yarn so that there's not a really large float between the stitches. I'm just finishing off the main color, so you can see there's no yarn showing through, it's just caught on the other side, and now I need to use it. So I'm going to drop the main color, and I'm going to knit in the little centerpiece. So you can see that it's been caught halfway through the knitting, and it's made it nice and tidy, and there's no large pieces of knitting to get caught when you put your sock on when it is complete. So again, here I'm just laying the yarn across, catching it and continuing to knit, and here I'm going to find my yarn and knit it in. Again, 4 stitches, catch the yarn, keep going. So as you can see here, you've got, tighten up that stitch. Okay. A nice even half of the motif and the center flowers, and you can see the back of the knitting. You've got little floats all the way across, and that just means it's just a much neater, and you've got less risk of your knitting getting puckered because your float isn't long enough, and makes it more comfortable when you put your sock on.